Just through thousands of declassified CIA documents to find what he calls a secret history of the CIA's mind control work. What he discovers convinces him the CIA was deeply involved in advanced mind control research. Research that went far beyond the boundaries of what most Americans even dreamed was possible, and well beyond the boundaries of what was ethical or even legal.
The intelligence business is about the idea of controlling people, of making them do things against their will. And if one were able to control people's behavior, we'd be that far ahead of the game.
The details of the CIA's mind control program reveal the agency may be trying to create its own Manchurian candidate. By 1953, the race to control the mind is on. Biological agents, psychosurgery, brain implants, hypnosis, and drugs. These were investigated in more than 100 projects at universities, clinics, even prisons. Hundreds of researchers inside and outside the government were involved.
The behavioral sciences in that period were very much in their infancy, and what the CIA did was provide funding to some of the more innovative thinkers, sometimes who were outside established orthodoxy.
Far outside. According to this declassified document, a report on the combination of hypnosis and sodium pentothal, some techniques are officially considered to be experimental. And there's a warning that there will be many a failure, but also that every success with this method will be pure gravy. The programs are given innocent-sounding code names like Bluebird and Artichoke. But soon, the code becomes sinister. MK Ultra. One of the CIA's first programs centered on exploring the potential of an experimental compound known as lysergic acid diethylamide, LSD.
What the CIA was doing was examining all the possible ways that human behavior could be controlled. They looked at things like LSD at great length. It seemed to cause a model psychosis. It seemed to be a way of making a person go through a breakdown.
The purposes of LSD were several-fold. One was to make somebody so psychotic and disorganized that they would be discredited.
Dr. Colin Ross, a psychiatrist who spent decades investigating the CIA's mind control programs, agrees that the agency worked hard to unlock the potential of LSD.
Under MK Ultra in 1953, the CIA was concerned that the world's supply of LSD, which was all manufactured by Sandoz Pharmaceuticals in Switzerland, might be bought up. And so what they did was they contracted for $400,000 at top secret clearance level with Eli Lilly Company to manufacture and supply LSD to them.
The CIA's leading mind control scientist is Dr. Sidney Gottlieb, a trained chemist.
Gottlieb was an imaginative thinker. He was willing to push the barriers, push the limits.
In 1953, Gottlieb begins to test LSD, first on himself, then on his colleagues. His programs investigated everything from Soviet interrogation techniques, exposure to radioactive chemicals, and the strategic properties of electric fish.
The CIA's drug testing place in technical services, all the participants in it had an agreement among themselves that they could test on each other in an unwitting way. And literally you had people at work and getting LSD in their morning coffee from time to time.
MK Ultra is more than just a bunch of nerdy scientists tripping out in the lab. Before long, the researchers are experimenting on unwitting civilians.
The CIA set up safe houses in New York and San Francisco where people from the underworld would be tested. Prostitutes, Johns coming in off the street with the prostitutes would be given doses of the drug.
Word gets out quickly in academic circles that the CIA is testing a mind-bending drug. Harvard professor Timothy Leary and a Stanford grad student named Ken Kesey sign right up.
There developed a demand for the drug because some people liked it. I mean, for the CIA, they thought they were doing something that would unlock communist secrets, but a lot of the test subjects, particularly students, had an experience they liked.
But soon after Gottlieb's LSD work begins, it turns deadly. As these documents show, A government scientist, Dr. Frank Olson, is secretly given LSD, served from a bottle of Cointreau by Sidney Gottlieb at a top-secret government retreat in Maryland.
And Frank Olson had what would classically be called a bad trip. He lost it. He thought that his friends were out to get him. He got into paranoia. He had a horrible time.
Turns out that Frank Olson was more than another unwitting government guinea pig.
He was an officer at Camp Detrick, which contracted with the CIA, and he was involved in some secret biological chemical weapons development, and it appears he might have been on the edge of becoming a whistleblower.
Olson suffers an apparent mental breakdown, is taken to a special CIA doctor in New York and given powerful sedatives, but only gets worse.
And what happened was after 4 or 5 days, Frank Olson committed suicide and/or jumped out of all we know is he jumped out of a window in the Sattler Hilton in New York City across from Penn Station.